Hello everyone. Welcome back to my channel. I hope everyone is having a wonderful day. Before starting the video, please subscribe and keep watching for more detailed videos. Lulu Spencer has always been a fighter, and in the world of Port Charles, that reputation is both her greatest strength and the biggest source of trouble for everyone around her. Now that the focus of her energy has shifted toward Britt Westbourne, the stage is being set for a showdown that could shake the hospital, disrupt relationships across town, and force people to choose sides in a bitter feud that promises to get more personal by the day. Lulu is not one to sit quietly when she believes someone is a threat to her family, her friends, or the stability of the life she's built, and that conviction is exactly what Britt underestimated when she decided to linger in Port Charles longer than some feel she should. The tension between Lulu and Britt is not something that came out of thin air. It has been simmering for quite some time, and while Britt has done her best to blend into the community, to soften her image, and to distance herself from some of the baggage of her past, Lulu hasn't forgotten. More importantly, Lulu doesn't trust her. That lack of trust is what fuels every move Lulu is planning. For Lulu, Britt isn't just another doctor in town trying to carve out her professional space. She is someone with a track record, a history of scheming, and a way of working her influence into situations that always seem to end in chaos. Lulu's determination to push Britt out of Port Charles is not only personal, it's strategic. She sees Britt as a destabilizing factor in both the hospital and the social fabric of the town. Lulu has a way of rallying people to her cause, and while she isn't always subtle, she is persistent. That persistence is what makes her dangerous to someone like Britt, who has always relied on charm, manipulation, or occasional reinvention to get by. Lulu has no interest in Britt's charm offensive, nor in giving her another chance. Instead, Lulu is prepared to put the pressure on in ways that Britt might not be able to counter. One of the first steps Lulu is rumored to be taking involves leaning on her connections at the hospital. Britt may be a skilled physician, but Lulu knows that reputation is everything at General Hospital. If she can highlight Britt's past mistakes, remind people of the scandals that once rocked the medical staff because of her, and quietly suggest that keeping her around is more trouble than it's worth, then she can plant the seeds of doubt in the minds of both colleagues and patients. In an environment where trust is essential, those seeds of doubt can grow quickly. Lulu doesn't have to sabotage Britt directly, she just has to make sure people start asking whether they really want her there in the first place. Of course, Britt isn't likely to go quietly. She's been fighting to change the narrative around her for years, trying to convince people that she's not the same troublemaker she used to be. And in some respects, she has succeeded. She has moments of genuine compassion, times when she seems to put others before herself, and flashes of sincerity that make some people believe she deserves another chance. But Lulu isn't swayed by that. She believes that underneath it all, Britt is still the same manipulative woman who once wreaked havoc in the lives of those she claimed to care about. For Lulu, it's not about forgiveness or redemption. It's about protecting her territory and making sure that someone she views as a toxic presence doesn't gain a foothold again. What makes this situation even more volatile is the way it will drag other characters into the fray. Britt has allies, and Lulu knows it. There are people in Port Charles who are willing to defend Britt, who believe that she has changed, and who see Lulu's campaign against her as unnecessarily harsh. That divide is what could make this story explode into a much larger conflict. On one side, Lulu pushing to exile Britt. On the other, Britt's defenders who think everyone deserves a second chance. In the middle, a hospital staff that just wants to avoid being torn apart by another feud. This isn't just about workplace drama, though. Lulu has personal stakes in this battle. She has endured losses, betrayals, and heartbreak, and in her mind, people like Britt contribute to the cycle of pain in Port Charles. By removing Britt from the equation, she believes she can create some measure of stability for herself and for the people she cares about. That personal motivation adds fuel to her determination. It's not only about principle, it's about control. Lulu wants to take control of her life and environment, and Britt represents the kind of unpredictable element she can't stand. Britt, however, has her own reasons for staying. She doesn't want to be chased out of town again. Every time she's tried to build something for herself, someone has been there to remind her of her past. This time, she's determined to stand her ground. That means Lulu's attempts to push her out are going to be met with resistance. Britt knows how to play the long game, how to use sympathy to her advantage, and how to turn people's doubt about her into a weapon she can use against her critics. She has survived worse, and she's not about to let Lulu dictate her future. The battle between these two women is shaping up to be more psychological than physical. Lulu will use her credibility, her relationships, and her influence to push Britt toward the exit. Britt will use her ability to manipulate perception, to twist narratives, and to exploit every weakness Lulu shows. It's a chess match, one where every move matters, and neither woman can afford to show vulnerability. One area where Lulu might try to strike is Britt's professional life. General Hospital is a place where reputation is everything, and Lulu knows that even the slightest hint of impropriety can ruin someone's career. By dredging up old scandals or pointing out Britt's past unethical choices, Lulu could stir up enough controversy to make the hospital board reconsider whether Britt is worth the risk. She doesn't need to fabricate anything. The truth is damaging enough. All she has to do is remind people. At the same time, Lulu's efforts won't go unnoticed. People will question her motives, wondering if this is really about Britt or if it's about Lulu needing someone to fight against. Some might argue that Lulu is projecting her own frustrations and fears onto Britt, turning her into a scapegoat rather than dealing with deeper issues in her own life. That kind of scrutiny could undermine Lulu's campaign, especially if Britt can spin the narrative to paint herself as the victim of Lulu's story. So compelling is the way it taps into themes that have defined General Hospital for decades: loyalty, betrayal, redemption, and the constant battle between personal history and the possibility of change. Lulu embodies the voice of those who believe that people rarely change, and that allowing someone like Britt to stay is inviting disaster. Britt embodies the hope that people can evolve, that second chances matter, and that the mistakes of the past don't have to define the future. Both perspectives have weight, and the audience is left to wonder which will prevail. As this conflict escalates, we can expect to see ripple effects across Port Charles. Relationships will be tested as people choose sides. Some will back Lulu, supporting her mission to protect the town from someone they see as a proven troublemaker. Others will defend Britt, either out of genuine belief in her redemption or out of sympathy for someone who has been hounded relentlessly for her past. Those divisions could lead to new alliances, unexpected betrayals, and storylines that stretch well beyond the walls of the hospital. The longer this feud goes on, the more personal it will become. Lulu isn't known for backing down once she sets her sights on a goal. Britt isn't known for walking away without a fight. That means we're heading toward a climax where one of them will have to break. Whether it's Britt being forced to leave or Lulu realizing that her campaign has backfired, the fallout will be significant. Neither woman will emerge unscathed, and the impact will be felt by everyone around them. For now, the question is how far Lulu is willing to go. Will she stop at stirring up doubt and using subtle pressure, or will she escalate her tactics, resorting to more aggressive measures to get Britt out of Port Charles? And if she does, will she cross lines that could damage her own reputation in the process? On the other side, how far will Britt go to protect her place in town? Will she fight clean, or will she revert to the scheming ways that earned her the nickname the Britt in the first place? The coming weeks will answer those questions, but one thing is clear: this is not a storyline that will be resolved quickly or quietly. Lulu and Britt are on a collision course, and the sparks are just beginning to fly. Their feud is more than just a personal grudge. It's a battle for legitimacy, for belonging, and for control over the narrative of who gets to stay in Port Charles and who doesn't. And in the end, no matter who wins, the scars left behind will change the town forever. Thank you for watching. Please subscribe to my channel for all of your updates.